Welcome to Crypto Finder. Today I'm going to show you how to get started buying Ethereum in Australia with Australian dollars. So the first thing to do is go down into the description of this video and open up the How to Buy Ethereum guide by Finder. So this guide is the page we're looking at here, and it will offer you a bunch of different exchanges that you can buy, sell and trade Ethereum on. Gives you a little quick start guide on buying Ethereum with Coinspot as just an example, and it of course gives you today's Ethereum price. And if you want to scroll down a bit further, there'll be a nice sort of breakdown of how to buy Ethereum step by step, but with a bit more detail and kind of explaining each step of the process, since there are things like KYC where you have to prove your identity, and going through like that can be a little confusing for some people. So I just wanted you to let you know that all that information is there should you need it. But let's get started purchasing Ethereum with Coinspot, which is the first exchange up here. But I do recommend that you go ahead and compare some of the different exchanges that are there. But let's move on with Coinspot, since I'm sure you're eager to get started. Okay, so the first thing that you'll need to do, of course, is actually sign up for Coinspot. Now that process can take a little while. It can take a few days because, as I mentioned, you need to prove your identity to the exchange before you're allowed to actually buy and sell cryptocurrency or trade on the markets there. So let's assume that you've gone through that process and you're back on Coinspot. This is the dashboard that you'll see. This is where what you see every time you log in. Now, the first thing you'll need to do, obviously, is deposit some money into your account. Again, this is something that can take a little while because you need to get your transactions approved. Sometimes your bank might delay it by a day or two to verify things. But once you've deposited money into your account, you can then buy Ethereum in one of two ways. You can go to the Buy and Sell tab, which is where you're offered a price on Ethereum by the exchange, kind of like walking into a shop, finding something on the shelf and there's a set price for it. The other thing is that you can go over to markets, which is a bit different. It's like going to a hawker's market where you then go and haggle or barter over the price. So this is where you go and you make a bid. You set the price for the cryptocurrency, you make a bid for it, and it just depends on whether someone at the other end of the market wants to give it to you for that price. So that's sort of where you're looking at the charts, you're trying to time a good time for a buy-in and all that sort of stuff. But let's get started with buy and sell first, since this is the easiest and the fastest way to purchase a new cryptocurrency on Coinspot, just like Ethereum. So here we've got all the different cryptocurrencies we can purchase. Ethereum is number 2 on that list, so let's go across to buy ETH, because ETH or ETH is the shorthand name for Ethereum. And there we can see the price that is being offered by the exchange. Today it's around $318. If you like, you can go and see how that price is calculated. And in the box down here, it just asks us how much would we like to spend in Australian dollars. So let's say that we want to buy, let's go and get maybe 1.5 Ethereum. So we want to spend 500 Australian dollars. And then beneath that box, it will just calculate for us how much Ethereum we get if we were to spend $500 and we were getting it at that rate per Ethereum. Okay, so pretty straightforward. It just takes these two numbers and then calculates what you would get. So that's the first way to buy Ethereum. If you go through and hit buy, you'll then just get a chance to double check and confirm your transaction. And keep in mind there is a 1% fee with Coinspot, which they show you there. And then you just go to confirm and buy. And once you do click that one, you will have purchased. So make sure you know what you're doing and that you're happy with the price. Now the second method is that we just go over to markets, and this is where we get a chance to trade Ethereum. And this is like classic Forex trading or stock market trading. And so once we land on this page, if you wait a moment, a chart will appear here, and that will just give us a historic price chart for Ethereum. So as we can see, a few days ago it dipped down to about $300, and then today it's back up at about $318. This is over here is how you tell the time. So it's 1 hour. So this is called the hourly chart, and then you can adjust it to days, weeks, 30 minutes, that sort of stuff. So let's leave it on 1 hour, and then if you use your trackpad or mouse to scroll back through, you can see how that price has changed over time. So it's usually this information that you're using to decide on the price you want for Ethereum. So as we can see the price dipped down recently. And if we zoom out, we can see that, historically it's been down a little bit. So why don't we go and set a sell order, a buy order rather, not a sell order, a buy order for $300, since we think that the market might go down again, and we would rather pay less than pay more. So to make your bid for Ethereum, scroll down over to the left-hand side here where it says buy Ethereum, and then where it says when the price per Ethereum is, that's where you set the rate that you're willing to pay. So let's change that to 300. So that's the rate per Ethereum we're willing to pay. Now, of course, you don't have to buy a whole Ethereum, so you wouldn't be paying $300. Let's say we want to buy half an Ethereum. It would then use those two numbers to calculate what the total is, where it says running total. And again, that's 150 Australian dollars, where you're just taking half of that figure there. Now, in this method, we set how much Ethereum we want to buy. The other way that we can do it is after setting the price per Ethereum, we then go over to Australian dollars and we say how many Australian dollars we'd like to spend in total. So let's say we've only got $200 to spend on cryptocurrency, to spend on Ethereum. We put in 200, and then if we go to buy Ethereum, it will calculate how much Ethereum we would get at that rate. So as you can see, 200 is 2/3 of 300, so we'd get 0.666 Ethereum. And here on this page, it also shows us the fees that we're being charged and just gives us a bit of a breakdown. So yeah, that's pretty much it. To go through and actually, with that order, you just go buy ETH, check everything is okay, and then go to confirm buy, and you'll be on your way. Now, of course, you won't get that order filled until the market, someone on the other side, someone selling, agrees to sell at that price of 300, which is down here. So this is definitely, if you're a bit more patient, maybe you've already got some cryptocurrency and you're not in a rush to actually enter the market, or you've done a bit of research and you've figured out what a good price for Ethereum is. But again, using this method, you could actually just buy it at the going rate. And if you do that, your order is much likely to be filled immediately. So if we put in 318, let's say we want to buy half an Ethereum again, we'll just go to buy ETH, confirm buy, and then if there's enough liquidity in the market, enough people buying and selling, it's likely that our order would be filled for 318 fairly soon. But that being said, the market can move quickly, can move very quickly, and just because you set a price that was the same as the last purchase price doesn't mean you'll get it. Sometimes the market will shoot way up and you'll get left behind. So if this video was helpful to you, please consider subscribing to the channel or just giving us a like. If there's other cryptocurrencies or exchanges that you'd like us to do tutorials on in the future, please let us know in the comments below. But that's it from me today. Have a great day and good luck in the markets out there.